Hey, it's your girl, Cori Love. I was just pinning the conversation and what we're going to have going on. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you have not already, make sure you share this out with your audience. Hit that arrow, that airplane, whatever you want to call it. Make sure you share it out so that your audience can tune on in with us. Tonight we're having a conversation with Mike James of Pens for Life. He is a life coach. So he's having the special edition conversation with Cori Love about what men don't understand about women. So while you guys share that out, I'm going to go ahead and share it out myself with my audience so that everyone can tune in. Guys, don't share it out with only your female friends or your female followers. Make sure you share this out with especially your male followers, because we want them to be all into this conversation as well, because we need their opinion. It's all about what they don't understand, so we need them in. So hit that arrow, share it out with those guys. Let's get them all into the conversation. Your host, Cori Love. That's me. So while you guys are doing that, yes, exactly. Share it out with the men. Please, we need the men in here. I'm sharing it out. So lately I noticed Instagram been acting real, I guess, how would I say it? Funny? It's not allowing us to I don't know if people aren't seeing our things enough or often enough, but it's like being a little bit out of whack. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in Mike so that we can get, and I have my iPad so I can see the other comments that people have left so that he can chime in on that from a male's perspective. Hey.
What's up, Cori Love? I'm so excited.
I am too, but I need these men in here. I'm like,
I know.
Females. Why is it that men aren't that into Instagram like that?
You know what? I don't know. I think it's more so of that awkward feeling of, when you get that notification somebody's going live, and you tap in, who all over there, kind of tapping the room. Wait a minute. Oh, they looking at me. I think it's more so that thing, because even podcasts that are popular, I'll see their live women. Yeah. But if they do a Zoom, like a Zoom hangout or Zoom party or something, the men are in there. So, so I see a couple of them rolling in. But I shared it out because I was like, fellas, y'all don't leave me out on this island by myself.
You need that protection.
Yes. For real. Like I need some covering.
Right. You can't just do it all for them. Come on now. So,
right, exactly.
Because I have been sharing it with a lot of men. I even shared it with my nephew because he does a radio show in Atlanta from a male's perspective. I wanted the middle-aged, the younger ones, whatever y'all want to call it. I don't want to say older, but the more seasoned men and things like that. Yeah. Because I think the thing is, it goes with age, how this works. So Blue King said he got you. Good looking out.
Yeah. That's my bro. What up, Chris? Yeah, definitely.
Good. So this whole conversation, if you guys are new to my show, what I usually do on Tuesdays, I will pose a question, and I pose the question, what men do not understand about women, because I was on somebody else's show, and it was a big back and forth, like, guys are this and ladies are that, and everything that comes up all the time is they say, why can't we decide what we want to eat? So that was the biggest one, and I'm like, that's true, but y'all don't be telling us either. So it's like we going back and forth. So it's not only us, okay?
Well, okay.
I know men always fuss about that a lot. I'm still sharing this out with some people that I really want to.
I see a lot of my peeps rolling in too. So that's cool. That's cool. Good. Yeah, and even like you said, like you were talking about, more so having more men involved in like lives and things. I kept going back to your post, right? The original where you posed the question, and shout out to my sis Drinks by Explosive for even tagging me to it and connecting us. So, but I kept going back and looking at the post. I'm like, dang, sis got 30, 40, 50, 100 comments. And I'm looking like, I'm scrolling to find a man every 10 comments. I'm like, oh.
No, I think I counted it. I wrote down like 7.
Yeah. Wow. Like, that's crazy. Out of over 100, I'm sure. I know it was well over 100 last I checked, of just like back and forth.
Yeah. But the thing is, what I think is that men don't want to chime in, because my husband has an Instagram, but he never comments.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, that's like stalking. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might tap it here and there, but say something. Especially when somebody poses a question. For me, it's like, what's the point? Like, you didn't even put any input. Oh, wow. Yeah. I didn't even realize there was 120 comments.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I think I probably answered a couple. So it's probably like, maybe really like 98 or 90. But, so let's get this started. Whoever is here is
let's do it.
They're going to miss out.
They're going to miss out.
So if you're just tuning in again, we are here with Mike James. He is a life coach, a male life coach, and I love that because sometimes, you know, we need to hear it from a different perspective. And I feel like, especially us women, because I think if you talk to a man, because a lot of people don't know, but I've seen a therapist. He was a male, and he gave me both perspective. Like, this is how women react. This is how men react. So you being a life coach, hey, I tip my hats off to you, bro. I really appreciate that. We need more of you guys out there just helping, especially the younger, you know, the younger generation to know, listen, I did this. This is not how it should be done. I want you to do better than me. Let's go. Because it's always females again. So I appreciate that. If you guys aren't following, hit that follow button. If you even leave the live and come back, make sure you follow him. He goes live, or it's usually you do videos where you share.
So I'll pop up anywhere. So I do YouTube. Like, I shared a YouTube video today. I'll do Facebook live. I'll do Instagram stories live, you know. It's pretty much where I pop up, but yeah, definitely follow my page because I put out a lot of good things, and you know, I'm getting more into this algorithm with reels and all this stuff. So you know how that is.
Bro, I can't start on that. I can't even catch it. And I have another page, my business page, where I do social media, but it's like, okay, today is one thing, tomorrow's the next. You know what? Whatever. I'm gonna just post.
Right. Exactly.
That's just it. So, guys, if you have any questions, make sure you drop it in the question box. I know when I joined somebody's live yesterday, I didn't have a question box. So if you do have a question and you don't have the question box, drop it in a comment. We're going to definitely get to it if we don't get to it right away. So again, I posed a question: what men don't understand about women? So we need, and I said on the post, men need to understand. So what is the issue? So let me pick one of the comments and you could, you know, go off of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Where was it? All right. Where did it go? There was one. I should have wrote it down. Okay, so Solo Guy says they never admit when they are wrong.
Ooh. Now, why you had to go to that one first? I was joking. Listen, I was joking with my wife earlier. I said we were going to get something to eat, and I was joking with her. I said, I'm thinking about what is my disclaimer. Okay, the views expressed by Coach Mike does not reflect the views of P&Z for Life or my household, because we good over here. But I'm speaking and representing for the men, right? I'm speaking and representing for the men. So just to get that out there. So I will gather my conversation from just experience and family and all that stuff, right? Some me, teeny bit me. But so yeah, that's an interesting, a good one, right? And I think that's a thing that a lot of men can relate to. And here's the thing: I don't like using absolutes, because when you use an absolute, you're automatically wrong. So the all or nones, it's going to be rare that you hear me. And if you ever hear me say all women, all black people, all white, if you hear me say an absolute, it was probably a mistake. So now that I got that disclaimer out of the way, it's one of those things where, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, the perspective changes once a woman realizes it for the male view, right? Once a woman realizes, oh, okay, yeah, you right, I'm wrong. It's this like sly way of getting out of it still, where it's like, okay, I'm not going to let you know. But that look, we see it, you glaze over it, and it's like, yeah, I did say that. But it's like, wait, what did you say? But so that's one of those things. But here's the thing: now I'm going to be fair, right? Because I'm a coach, so I'm going to be fair, and I'm going to say, I think everybody, let's be real with this, because this is another thing that happens in disagreements and things, right? We both point the finger, right? But nobody wants to be wrong. Let's be real. Right. We're all human, and nobody wants to be wrong. Nobody wants to be wrong. That's why we have disagreements. But it does seem Look, I know you got.
Not absolutely.
I saw.
Just see.
Right. It seems like y'all ain't never wrong. And it's wait a minute. Yes, gleam dream facial expressions. We have to become fluent in facial expressionology.
Mm-hmm.
That should be a major in college. Like, okay, oh yeah, you want to be in a relationship one day? Okay, you're out of high school. Okay, let's be real. High school, you may marry your high school sweetheart, but let's be real with it. Mm-hmm. According to life's experience and what you learn, that's puppy love, right?
Yeah.
So when you get out and you go to college, that should be a major. It should be an elective. Your guidance count. They should just put it on your schedule, like facial expressionology, because you need to know these
101
things.
and 102.
Yes, remedial courses, because you didn't get it in high school, like what you're going to experience post high school in the real world, as they call it, as adults. True. So you need to know this stuff. Mm-hmm. And how are we going to get that? That's why they call it higher education. We need a little bit more. We're not prepared for what we walk into in terms of in a relationship, right?
Okay.
Because a lot of times what they say, right, that man is looking for a woman like his mother, holds him like his mother. That woman is looking for someone that's strong and firm and loving and comical like her father. So that's one of the things where it's like, hey, it's a lot of stuff you don't know, though, because it's certain stuff you're not going to see from your mom when it comes to you.
True.
So, or, vice versa, right? Your dad has that role. It's totally different to now we're in a romantic relationship.
Right.
Oh, okay. This is a different type of love.
Right.
This is a different type of disagreement.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Says learning I'm fine or nothing. Yeah, that's a good one too.
Oh my goodness. Let's just say that one. You help me with this, sis, and I'll read the comments too. That's one too. That's a big one, right? Because I will say that's the one I struggle with because I'm fine. No, I'm good. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? It looks like something's wrong. Oh no, I'm good.
And you know we're really not based on that facial expression, right?
Right. Or the silence, the mannerism. So
my thing with that is, so I and I'm only going from my perspective. Let me put my disclaimer out there. This is just from me. I feel like we expect you guys to know certain things. Like if you come in late, for example, you didn't call and you be like, what's wrong with you? I'm good. I'm fine. Ain't nothing. Like, you're wrong. So in order for us, and if you ladies chime in with me, in order for us to avoid an argument or to go back and forth or to use the tone we don't want to use at that time, we just leave it alone and say, I'm good, we're fine, nothing. Because you don't want to go back and forth. That's my opinion on that. So if you ladies got anything else, throw that in there. She says I'm straight. Yeah. Because you don't want to argue. You know, it might not be something that big, so it's like, is it really worth it? I'm good, whatever, no problem.
Right.
So that's
so my CVS receipt, right? I took notes. The CVS receipt you just keep pulling. It's like, wow. So I took notes. So no, but for real, that's one thing I said. Like again, I talked about facial expressions, but also just deciphering, right? Deciphering those messages, because even in that example you gave, which I don't disagree with, right? Where you're later, you're this, but in our minds, like, okay, but we talked about it, but I told you it would probably be, but I didn't know you was going to be that late. Right. Different things, right? So it's still kind of layers to that. And let's be real. Again, I'm going to approach it from a coaching perspective, is the simple fact that we communicate differently, right? Men and women. That's the other part of it. We're expecting people to understand as we do, whether it's male or female, right? We're expecting people to communicate as we do. That's why we had a friend that came and visited this weekend. She borrowed our love languages book. And that's the thing about it. Yeah. I was talking to her and I said, a lot of times what happens is if you know your love language, whether you know it or not, a lot of times you're loving someone the way you would want to be loved instead of how they want to be loved. So that's where a lot of times too, you get that kind of back and forth and the misunderstanding. So
with that being said,
look, Drake says something real quick, says that look, they really don't know.
They really don't know.
This is something I've said, in the past. And I joke about it, but at the same time, I'm going to say it and then I'll explain what I mean by that. Men are dumb sometimes.
Wait. Now, run that back again.
Now, I'll say it again. Men are dumb sometimes. And let me explain what I mean by that.
Yeah.
Dumb to what you want us to get or what you think we should have just that basic understanding of, right?
Yeah.
Because again, it's the difference of the emotional versus the logical, or the straight to the point of a man versus the I'm gonna go over the hill and through the woods to get you to this point. And we're thinking, let's get to the point, right? Yeah. So I think that's another part of it too. A lot of times, and I'm glad Sis said that, it's so true. A lot of times we really don't know.
Yeah.
It's a perfect segue too into one of the other things. Mm-hmm. We have to have a short memory, right? But a lot of times y'all can be the ancestors who are things that happened in the past.
Like, listen, that's something somebody said too.
On January 12th, let me tell you, on January 12th, 1997, look, wow, synchronicity. How did that happen? And by the way, I just want to let the people know too, just how connections and things happen. Drinks by Explosive, my sis, she knows me. We've been connected now over a year. We got connected on the Convos app, but I'm a people person, right? And so I just want people to know that this is just genuine. I love it. We never met. It's our first time talking and all that. So just want to shout out to you for just being an awesome person. I went back and looked at a lot of your other episodes, and I was like, oh man, I had to scroll for like 2 days before I found one with a man. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be tough. Yeah, I got a whole legion over here.
Man, and that's the thing. I actually have a man tomorrow again too. He's out of Atlanta, which is dope. But like they come far and few. I think I may have done. I know I did Cash Young Sosa, semi-music productions, Queen City Gold. I can count on one hand, literally. I'm trying to get Gregory. He just joined in, Mastering Dollars, and says, "Thanks for jumping in, bro. You got to stay on so you can support Mike on here, okay?" But she said men be hiding. Like you said, one of the things they said is we hold on to something you guys did in the past, and as soon as a heated moment occurs, they bring that back up. So we're gonna get to that, but I want to go back to that love language that you said. So my thing is with the love language, I feel like, okay, if I'm giving hints for 7 months, how is it like I don't put something on the refrigerator, I left it on the dresser next to your deodorant,
right?
I put it next to your watch. How do you not get it? That's my thing. What don't they understand? Do I need to write a note? This is what I want. But I told you 19 times. So I got to tell you, like, you want me to write a note? Like, what's up with that with men?
You know what? So, this is the beautiful thing. I promise you, I just wrote a couple of bullet points, right? Okay. And I kid you not, the last thing on this page is what's the fascination with throwing hints, right? So here's the thing. Again, it kind of goes back to one of the things I talked about, right? How we approach things differently. Mm-hmm. Because for the average man, we will say, okay, yeah, you're throwing hints, but you're not saying, oh, hey, that's a nice shirt. Mm-hmm. And every time that commercial come on, that's a nice shirt. Yes. Taking notes. Take notes. You better get that shirt. Well, you ain't never say you want the shirt. You just said it's nice. Like I talk about that nice Mustang on that commercial. That don't mean I want it. It don't mean we saving up, to get that Mustang. But again, it's the difference in kind of how we understand and communicate and approach those things. Because it is legit what you're saying, right? And I found myself guilty of that over the years, right? In my marriage. My wife and I, we've been married 11 years now. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the things I started putting a note document in my phone to just keep up with the hints. You know what I mean? Because
that's a good thing.
Hey, free game, fellas. Free game to the fellas. We got these smartphones, Androids, Apples, whatever your notes or whatever. Yes, like them hints. It could be something. Wow, like man, did you see how they they landed safe in outer space and this and that. Just write it down. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe she, maybe she wants a model.
Maybe
I don't know.
Want a charm. It could be a charm for the rocket ship.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe she wants the crescent moon to be added to her her Pandora chain. So you know what I'm saying? Like, you write them down.
Yeah, she said, my brother said you have to tell them. But you do tell them. It's like you got to constantly remind them. But, James said it. Mike James said it here. He said, they have short-term memory. So, hey, I told my husband something today at like maybe 1 o'clock, and he got home.
1:30, it was gone.
I'm blown away, but then it's like y'all look at us. We're supposed to remember everything. I told you that. You said you was gonna do. Yeah, I forgot, just like you. That'd be my, you know what I'm saying? There go the facial expression. Like,
there you go.
Whatever,
that's it. It's about the facial expressions. I think that's half the battle right there.
Yeah.
Reading between the lines, reading between the emotions, reading between the facial expressions, reading between the times of month, reading between everything. We gotta read. That's what I'm telling you. When they make that women one-on-one elective, fellas, like, take it.
I have to throw that out there now. That might be what you should do.
I'm just saying.
Understand your woman.
Look, for real, because
it's
a book, right? It's a book. And the thing is, I think what happens as well a lot of times with us menfolk is that to us, it would seem that we're consistent. Like, we're always this way, right? But with women, with our beautiful women, it can be different every single day this week. So we can get 5 U's. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So, we can get 5 U's, and it's one of those things. And here's the other thing, too, that I think happens a lot when we're talking about, like, the taking the hints. Mm-hmm. For the most part, when your man upset,
Yeah.
When your man, you know what I'm saying? Or he'll just come out and say, you know what? I just don't want to talk about it right now. Mm-hmm. Cool. At least you got something there. So it's one of those things. It's that direct to the point versus, we gonna puzzle piece through this thing.
That's true. Now, y'all sisters, listen carefully. All y'all out there that's trying to get married or in a relationship, because he's giving you tips. He's American.
Yeah, game. Yeah.
So, brothers, look, take your tips. Women, take your tips too.
I'm kind of doing unbiased. I'm trying to be unbiased as possible. Do guys prefer we be straight to the point or the hints? I feel like they can't handle too much straightforwardness.
I like that question.
You know what?
I like that.
Here's the thing. And that's my sis. We graduated high school together. So shout out to her for joining on.
Yes.
Here's the thing about that. There's levels to that straightforwardness, right? Mm-hmm. Because here's one thing, right? If this conversation was flipped and I had you on and we were doing the what women don't understand about men, right? Mm-hmm. Straightforwardness is cool because now you're kind of speaking the way we want. However, when that straightforwardness turns into I'm demanding or telling you what to do, then it becomes, wait a minute now. You know what I mean? It becomes, okay, now you're beating me down about a certain thing. You know what I mean? So, and like a couple of people have said too, it depends on the person, you know what I'm saying? Because there are, again, like I said, I started just saving little notes and stuff that she may say from whatever over time, and like, okay, let me open this. Okay, this is some of the things she's been talking about. So
that's a good one.
It depends, like I said, it does depend on the person, but I think me, again, I can only speak for me. I prefer the straightforwardness, but again, it's all about the delivery as well, because let's be real. As men, we have to know how to deliver things, right? So it doesn't come off as an attack or I'm lording over you.
Right. So Renita just said it. Demanding is my flaw. I'm working on it. Hell, LOL. But my thing is, my husband told me that one time before, you're talking, we from the Caribbean, so you're talking to me, you're talking to the children, like you. And he's like, and it took me years. I ain't gonna say it took a quick time, but it took me years to realize, like, I don't want him to talk to me like that. You know what I'm saying? So I have to really change my tone. But when you're like, I asked you 5 times to take out the trash. Like at the end, it's gonna be like, yo, you gonna take it out or not? You know what I'm saying? But it's not intentional. But I mean, that's something I had to learn too, Renita. And it wasn't easy, because I think it's because we're so strong-willed, or either maybe we see women tolerate certain things and we like, oh, that's not gonna be me, because that's me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, I'm not. And me and my husband been together 22 years. We've been married 15. So it's like, I'm not gonna tell you, I know, like, it took me like 6 or 7 years to get myself together, because previously I had been in relationships where it was like trash. So it's like, he got everything. Like, it was, I don't know how he deal with me most of the time. It ain't easy. So Blue King said, I think we get our feelings hurt easier, but y'all don't show that.
You know what, Chris, I would love for you to expound on that. So I think I know like what he means by that, in the sense of a lot of times that's the case, right? Because we don't show it, it doesn't seem as though it affects. But I mean, let's just look at like, breakups and stuff. It affects it affects us, right? But it's one of those things too. We have these gender norms and gender roles, right? Mm-hmm. Man, do some push-ups or something. It ain't supposed to be emotional or different things like that. So that's another thing too. It's all about suppressing instead of dealing with what's actually there, what's dealing with those emotions, or talking that thing out. So I think that it also depends, it also depends on the man. And like, we got to think about it too. A lot of the ways we are, or the ways we show up in relationships are a lot of what we saw growing up.
Right.
So it just depends on what we saw in the household, right. I say it all the time. For me, yeah, your uncles, your dad, your brothers, all that stuff. For me, I'm from a large family. And one of the things for me growing up, I never saw now I always say this, I'm the youngest of a whole lot. I don't know what my older siblings experienced, but for me, I never saw my parents like full out fighting like a real argument. Right. It was crazy because my parents were preachers and they had ways of like putting like holy curses on each other. But you know what I'm saying?
You know what in Proverbs it says.
It's so funny. I grew up in the Southern Pentecostal church. So it's so funny because my mom and dad, like, it wasn't even like baby. It was more like my mom like would call my dad Brother James. Yeah. And so anytime we heard Brother James, I'm gonna pray for you, I was like, oh man, oh snap. That's like, yeah, that's a curse. That's a curse word right there. Oh. That's like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't talking. So, different. It depends on how someone is brought up. So for me, that's something for me that I work on to this day. I don't like arguing because I didn't see it a lot, but I do understand that people express how they deal with stuff. So I can't expect people to deal with things the same way I do. So
I love it. Yeah. So I see what you say, Blue King. I want to just hit real quick what Gregory said, Mastering Dollars and Cents. If you guys aren't following, follow him as well. He is a male. You guys know I'm big on our male because we need to show them love too. We always, like, no offense to anyone, or females, white, black, Spanish, whatever. We really need to really support our brothers. So make sure if you're not following, follow Mike also, and Mastering Dollars and Cents. Blue King, I don't know you, but I'm gonna follow you. And what you're saying is what also I'm pressing on right now. Like he said basically, women, we say some hurtful things. And y'all already deal with stuff throughout the day, just being black, period. Like, that's number one. Because you have fear now more than ever. Really, basically, from Rodney King time, to be honest, I think. I mean, because y'all haven't been it, like, I don't know how old some of y'all are, but, like, back then, and, obviously we were slaves and all of that. But it's just, being a black man in America is kind of rough. So we, as females, have to know how to kind of be a little bit more loving towards him, especially if you got a good man. Like I said, I don't know how my husband tolerates me half of the time, but like Mike said, it's my upbringing. I see my mom, go through so much. I'm really just hard. Like, that's not gonna be me regardless. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So right. It's just basically what we've tolerated and what we've dealt with, and the same for you guys. So we have to really look at that now and respect them. And I feel like if we give them respect, they'll give us respect. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. Gregory said it's a lack of communication skills too at times. Personally, I'm internal, so it won't show. But that's just like with us. We show everything. Y'all gonna know, but y'all don't. So we don't know how to react. And y'all not responding is like, an argument for us. I'm sure there's at least 5 women on here that'll agree with me. Because if I'm saying like you good and you say, yeah, I'm whatever, but we know that you're not. So we want to comfort you, but you're not saying anything.
Yeah.
So that's an argument to me. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, but you're not saying nothing. Like, what do you want me to do?
Right. Yeah. And it kind of goes back, I think it goes back to what I said a little while ago was it's that whole thing of how we process, how a man processes versus how a woman processes, because we would be thinking, okay, they're always talking about taking the hint. Mm-hmm. If I'm just saying I'm good, okay, I'm good for now, at least I don't want to talk about it or something, or don't she get the hint? So, you know, I think the biggest thing is something you said, and I was going to say, you know, it can be ended right there. The whole conversation we're having can be ended right there when you talked about how we have to understand each other more, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Here's the biggest thing. It all starts with that person in the mirror. Mm-hmm. Because if you can, like anytime, and this is something I do, like anytime there's a disagreement or something, I really think about, okay, what was it that was said? What did I do? Different things like that. If you're consistently working on that person in the mirror, working on you, now you can begin to, again, knowing what makes you tick, knowing what makes you, happy, all this stuff. Now you can express those things more, and you know how to respond the next time certain things happen. So it's so much of it starts with right here. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's an important thing, you know, because again, I can't expect you to just say, okay, yeah, right, I'm a black man, you know, I've been out, I'm doing all this, and I come home and now you know, in my ear, you know, you can't do or say anything because you're a black woman, right? Yeah. And you're dealing with this, right? And so that's the thing. I think it's all about coming together and having that mutual ground of working on ourselves to make ourselves better in those relationships.
Right. I agree. Because like I said, it took me years to figure out certain things. And what I observed, and if you ladies, you know, are in a relationship or whatever, you got to observe, like Mike said, the family. If you're around somebody, look at how the family, because I had to learn my husband based on how his mom behaves, how his dad behaves. He's a replica of them. And it's like, it's not a bad thing. It's just that I had to learn how to humble myself because I'm very hot-headed because of how I was raised and what I saw. So everybody is different. So we just got to really, like, you know, try to watch and observe. Like he said, it start with the man in the mirror. Mm-hmm. So, right. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Those of you that are tuning in, I am having a carefree conversation, special edition, What Men Don't Understand About Women, with Mike James of Pans for Life. If you're not following, make sure you're following, and that's PANDZ, the number 4 LIFE. Make sure you follow. And he's a life coach, male life coach, obviously. So make sure you follow him for some tips and strategies. And hey, you might even create yourself a session with him. Erica has said earlier, not responding definitely hits a nerve. I think that is all of us, because that used to be me in the beginning. And I'm telling you, my husband, I had to learn. My husband doesn't like to argue. He'd rather to be quiet. He doesn't like me to raise my voice and talk me, like Blue King said. And that was me really bad. I was terrible. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So I had to really learn, because that started creating a distance. The communication got worse, and it's like, oh, okay. So then I had to really think about it, like, okay. So, and my daughters, like I was telling you, my daughter told me one time, Mom, you don't listen. And I was like, yes, I listen. No. Mind you, I'm not listening while she's telling me I'm not listening. Right. So, like, certain things like that, we just really have to check. If you really want something to work and you want the situation to, like, be better, I mean, in this day and age, ain't no need to be going around from man to man, woman to woman. We just, you know, at our age, especially mine, you need to be settled. Ain't no starting over again. Not now. You know what I'm saying? So, right. Really, oh my God, I feel bad for those who don't, but you gotta be careful and just know what you want. Like Mike got a book, he writing down bullet points. He opens up his notebook and his phone and listen to the hints. Just follow those things. She said it's all about timing. Best combos happen later. Yes, for sure. So we're just piggybacking off of the conversation that I shared. why they never admit when they're wrong. I think we talked about that. What's the other one? Okay. This was a good one that women, this is my nephew. He said, why do y'all try to change a man after you start dating him? Like, you knew who he was when y'all started dating. So, do you agree with that? Do you think we tend to want to make you do certain things?
Yeah. And again, I approach everything with fairness, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to put it all on the women, right? I think it's men too. But here's the thing, what happens, a lot of times our eyes get too big for what our heart needs, right? Mm-hmm. So, you see that person is that, because I get tired of hearing people say, it ain't all about physical for me. Okay, but what got you the first time? It ain't like you just had your eyes closed and said, oh, you ain't Ray Charles that thing and feel her wrist and like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. So that's the thing. I tell people, come on now, what? Right. So it's that first time it was something physical there, right? And I think it's one of those things where let's just be real about it and be adult about it. If you so happen to have sex early on in the thing and that was good, then you just letting go. You just taking a lot of stuff off the checklist. You're like, well, okay, well, I can deal without this because well, that ain't so important. Now what happens is 2-3 months down the road, because it was built on something physical, and now we're in the place where we need a little bit more than physical, and it's like now we're trying to mold that thing into what we thought it was when we got into it, and all those things we checked off. It's like, oh man, I need to add them back. And you going, you're taking all those notes and like, okay, I need this now. Well, it's a little too late. You done had a whole year of this and you think I'm going to change now? You know what you're getting, so, and again, that's just a people thing. Again, I don't think that's a man woman thing. That's a people thing. Yeah, so I think that's important. That's important to know what it is that you're actually looking for outside of that initial physical attraction.
Listen, I'm telling y'all, follow this life coach. He giving tips. Y'all might have to need a session, because that right there just opened my eyes up to so much, because it's the truth. You meet them you meet them in the club or at the bar, or you meet them in Walmart or Publix, wherever you grocery shopping. The first thing he saw was your walk, and y'all hit it off, bam, bam, bam. They go from here to there, and then now you want to tell them, okay, you can't dress like that no more. But when you get to the grocery store,
oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. You met him with that. You met him with that tall tee and them Air Force Ones. What you mean? Can you wear slacks? You looked in my closet and saw 12 pair of jeans, 3 tall tees, and I guess I'm showing my age. But again, we're trying to. So here's the thing. Here's a great analogy for that, right? You go to the car lot. You go to a dealership, right? You're in the market for a new car. The first thing you do, you're like, oh my God, that's a nice car. You look at it, you open the door. Oh, I like the material, that leather, or I like that cloth. Cool. And what's one of the last steps you do? You look at the sticker. Mm-hmm. And then you start saying, oh, well, I don't need that. And oh my God. No, you know what? They can take this package off. No, I don't need no extended protection. I don't need this. You see what I'm saying? So it's like that physical grabs you first, and then we start taking things off that list because I want to drive it. Yeah. And so now you just want that test drive, and you don't want everything that's on that sticker.
Listen, I'm telling you, if y'all not, all y'all that are dating, y'all better listen. This is Shanae. Girl, this is your type of conversation. This is Mike James, life coach, PANDZ for life. Make sure you follow Late Night Conversations as well. I am Shanae Elise. We're talking about what men don't understand about women. But Majida said looks are deceiving, especially in this day and age when everybody getting ass and tits and lips and hips and everything. Yeah, looks are deceiving. And ain't nothing wrong, because y'all already know I always say if I can get a tummy tuck, that's the first thing I'm gonna do. I ain't knocking nobody's stuff. Right. But looks are deceiving. You know what I'm saying? Because he might look really swaggering. He might have came from church on Easter Sunday, but that's not how we always dress. You know what I'm saying? So you can't expect now, because he coming to dinner with you, he got on Tim's and Air Force Ones and his jeans. You be like, but you didn't dress like that the other day. Now you want to start comparing. So
I had just got my income tax, and you saw me in that nice Brooks Brothers special. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so done with you.
This, I like to work out, so I wear shorts and jogger pants, but you know what I'm saying? You saw me in my, you saw me in my suit, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh yeah, that's,
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that. Looks can be deceiving. They definitely can be deceiving.
They surely can. And guys, if you guys got any question after you fall in love with the physical, get to the mind and heart. But that's the thing. I think sometimes we got to leave that out first. I mean, yeah, we see it, you look good. Dang, he got some bow legs. He real tall, blah, 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 blah. But when people see me and my husband, we look totally opposite. We're like the same exact height. And he looks super, y'all men don't age. I mean, we don't age, but y'all just be looking real young forever. So everybody's like, that's your husband? Yes. So it's like, you got to look, you see it, and it's sweet and nice and everything. But before, and I'm just saying, like, before the physical, like, basically the sex, you got to really just see if they have the same mental state. I have a student that got married I think she got married at 23, 24. I saw her in the fourth and fifth grade. She invited me to her wedding, and she called me mom. She said, Ma, and she calls my husband dad. Like, before you and dad be married so long, give me some tips. One thing I learned at this age now to tell her, and you guys think about this, ask that person that your prospective other half or whatever, male, female, whatever your choice is, where do they see themselves in 5, 10, 15, and 20 years later? Because when you meet, we were 21 when we met. We were always hanging out, just partying, just living life. But now that we're in a whole different perspective, it's like we can't do what we used to do. That's my opinion. So you got to know, do you want to be an entrepreneur? Do you want to own a home? How many children do you want? These are conversations that don't do this on the first date, okay? I'm just saying, like,
straight off. All right, I'm gonna head out.
Just figured, and like now, like y'all 4th or 5th or 6th day, and he like, yeah, I think I really want to be with you. Get that going, because it could change a whole lot.
Yeah, and something Shanae said that's huge, and I agree totally. Energy, being so big on energy, that's huge. Because here's the thing too. On top of that, because a lot of people sometimes, depending on the age level, of course, too. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're past college years and 20s, 30s, whatever, you should be getting to that point where you know how to answer that question, at least thinking about it. But a lot of times people really don't know.
Yes.
And especially in this day and age, I tell my wife often, I say, listen, I am so thankful and blessed that I'm not single.
Yeah.
Especially in 2020, because I just can't imagine. So can you imagine now? Let's just say, for instance, let's go back to the summer, and you're asking somebody, hey, we've been talking a couple of weeks. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I don't know. I'm just trying to make it through 2020. You know what I'm saying? So energy is so important, because now as you dig into that person and you get to know them and you start feeling those vibes tell you a lot, but we ignore it because, again, it's what our eyes want a lot of times. And you just know everybody then told you.
Yeah.
You know it. Nah, I've heard people say this in the past. I've heard people say, I know he's not the one for me. I know he's not the one for me. What? And so energy is huge, because it lets you know, okay, we vibe. We kind of like a lot of the same things. When we have a disagreement, it flows. All these things, energy is huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Be you different? Hey, girl, thanks for tuning in. She said, depends on the energy. It could be a second date topic. Yeah, it depends. Based on that first conversation. I agree. I was looking at, I think the TV was on, and it was Hip Hop Hollywood or LA or something. I don't remember. And the guy at the time, I don't know their names. Don't ask me. They're stars or whatever. He admitted to the girl that he likes boys. He was dating a guy. And so she fell out on the floor. She crying. Everybody told me this. Everybody told me this. So me and my husband looked at each other like, so what? Why is she so surprised? I felt like she shouldn't have went through all of that. If everybody, they've been friends since high school, and they ended up dating. They're like 20-something years old now. They've been together 5 years at this point. And I'm like, if everybody's telling you, you should have asked them right out. And he was dating one of their friends. So like you said, we kind of know, we get the vibe, we feel the energy, and it's like, okay, now what, you know? So yeah. I definitely agree with that 100%. Outsiders normally see what you are blind to see. That's true. Oh my God, I'll be 35 on Thursday and dating it. So it's
bless you.
Funny that you said that, because I had this conversation. I have a coworker. She's 32. She had a date. She met a guy on one of them apps where you swipe left or right. I forgot the name of it, right? And she said that the guy said, mind you, they haven't even met yet. He's like, okay, so you gonna pay? And I was like, what? He didn't even meet you yet. She's like, Carissa, this is like what I always go through. Or we get there and it'd be like 2 separate checks. I'm like, what? And granted, I don't mind paying.
So that goes back to what we was talking about, right? So he said this in the app, or actually they had exchange numbers maybe, but this is still before the date.
I'm guessing when she swiped left or right, whatever, it's like, okay, I want to date you. I don't know. And she said we were messaging back and forth, and he asked her that. He said, you know, are you going to pay? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, and the crazy thing is,
at that point, throw him back in that shuffle.
And I know, right? Because you already know. You already know.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, and it just goes back to that point of really paying attention to that energy. And again, so much of it goes back to you. So when I say energy, this is something I say often. Energy, INNERG, your inner God. What is your energy telling you? You know, you have that feeling that something just ain't right. You know, people have asked me, you know, Mike, well, what made you decide? Well, how did you know that your wife was the one? I said, listen, it's first of all, it's a feeling, and then you look at the things that you've been through or the things you've done and all that, and you say, okay, listen, you know, sometimes it's obvious to you. You it feels right. This is the thing to do, and there's nothing telling me otherwise. So, like when Shanae said that again, that energy is huge.
Nessa, right? It was Love. That's Love and Hip Hop, right?
Love and Hip Hop, exactly LHH.
It's old though, because Ray J is in it, so I know it's an old one. Sometimes they just don't want to admit it to themselves. She should have left him in the app. Yes, that's not a real man. I feel you. So Majida is saying that's not a real man. So that's something I hear women say a lot. What do you mean? Like, okay, if you hear that, what would you say from a man perspective? Bro, you're not a real man, man. You flawed. You ain't real. You like, what do you read from that? Like, what makes him not a real man because he said that?
That's to say that all real men or all women are 100% whole. And we know that's not the case, right?
Right.
So that's a character flaw, right? There may be some integrity issues. But let's just say, for instance, that dude, he might have everything together. He might have, well, I ain't gonna say everything because he might be broke. But it could be a test. Who knows? So I'm not going to say, okay, that happens and that automatically disqualifies him from being a man, because, you know, he just could be broke. He could be down on his luck. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why he's on the app. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm out here. I'm trying to get somebody this good man. Now I ain't got it all together right now. As they say, in between jobs, some different things are going on. But if he can be real with it, you know, so that's kind of, I guess, going back on what I thought, throwing back in the app. Right. But it's an app. Ain't enough to attract you past him saying, "Are you gonna pay?" But let's just say, in you know, you've maintain some type of relationship where you got to know him. So I'm not going to disqualify it and say, you know, it's not because if a woman just came out and said, if it was some kind of app and a woman just came out and said, "You gonna pay, right?" I'm not going to automatically think, "Oh, she's trifling," or "She's a gold digger." So,
right.
So you know, you know, you almost gotta be an investigator, right? Because here's the thing. You have to take your time on the front end because this is your heart. This is your heart on the line, right? Whether it's man or woman. Again, it goes back to self first. So many times everything is put on this other person, you know. It's that thing, "Oh, ain't no good women out here, ain't no good men out here." First of all, you putting that out in the universe. So guess what keeps coming to you? Bad women, bad men, bad men. So that's the first thing. You're like, let me check what's going on in here. And what am I reflecting that I keep getting and attracting these bad men, these bad women? So
I totally agree. Somebody said, let me see if I can go back. So Shanae said she gotta Google him. She dodged a couple of bullets. That's funny. So I like what Gleam Dream said.
So Shanae, you stalking? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. That's
we
right.
Might have some
protect your energy. Protect your energy at all costs.
He should explain that. Maybe she would have took it better and see if that's what she want or not. Yeah, maybe it's how he said it. You know,
yeah.
I mean, I don't mind. I mean, me personally, if I had to go through that again, like I prefer to pay for my own stuff on the first date just in case. I don't know. That's just me, but I'm a little different type of woman. So,
yeah. Since I know two things, I just gotta do it. This conversation cannot end. It's two questions that burns in my heart of hearts.
Come on.
One, we can tackle one first, whatever. One, why y'all like to steal our clothes and y'all got all these clothes? And two, what is it about y'all gut health and all this and y'all digestive system that y'all don't never know what y'all want to eat?
So even when we've go back to that, we go
had this conversation.
So like, you know what's crazy? My husband plays soccer, right? And he have these shorts that they wear to play soccer. They call it football, Caribbean people, right? Yeah. And he'll come home and he'll see me and he'll be like, all the clothes you have, why you wear mine? I'm like, they're just so comfortable. Like, then get you a pair.
Yeah, what is it about our clothes that's more comfortable? Because y'all not finna go to the mall and buy a size or two too large. Mm-hmm. But all of a sudden y'all go in the closet. Okay, y'all clothes over here. So here we go. Y'all looking at all y'all options. Y'all get to outside. Oh, that sweatshirt looks nice. That t-shirt looks nice. Oh, that's gonna be mine today. So but you know what though, it's all good because I'm like, you know what, you look good in my shirt. You look good in my clothes.
Yeah, some oversized shirts. We do. She says we make your clothes look better. They're comfortable. I agree, Mrs. Gordon. They are so much more comfortable. I don't know why. Shanae said she Googled it and she found out he was a sex offender. Good looking out. Girl.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's literally protecting yourself.
That's more than energy, girl. That's protecting your life. I always know what I want.
But did she do the little? Shanae, did you do the little $3.99 or $5.99 to find out more info? Because when you Google, it can be like 37 Mike James in your area. So did you push that little? Did you push that little more info? I was thinking about that. Yeah, but anyway, but that's good. That really is good. Here's our better. So okay, I see a lot of people just say more comfortable.
And I like that be different. She says, I always know what to eat. When I don't, I let him choose. Now, I got to piggyback on
She always, oh, wow. You are a unicorn.
I'm not even going to lie.
You are a unicorn. So here's what's funny, right? And if there are any men left on this, y'all just chime in if there are any men left. But here's one of the things, too. Wow. Trisha putting out websites and everything. Publicdata.com. That's what I'm saying. Let me write this down. Send this to all my women. But all my sisters, y'all check this. But here's the thing too. It's so funny. And this is the funny thing about with the eating thing, like, right? Here's the funny thing. And I know the men who watch this replay, just come in if y'all see this. Mm-hmm. It's that question of, hey, what do you want to eat, honey? Oh, it don't matter. And then the first three things you say, nah, I don't want that. I ain't in the mood for that. Well, okay, well, here we go. We go back 2-3 times, right? And then here we go. Well, just pick something. I just did. So that's funny, but again, it's one of those things. But yeah, what is it? What is that? Do y'all taste buds just change, or do they evaporate, or is it the thought got to connect with the digestive system,
I
or
wish
you know
my
what I mean?
sister-in-law was on, because she's one of them that's like that too. She
Now
said it's
that's
a
dope.
trap.
Be different. The few options, I like that. I like options. It's a trap. You darn right, bro. It is. It's a trap. It's definitely a trap. It's a
Vanilla
trap for
Trini
sure.
she says the men say the things they know you don't want for sure.
You know what? I've joked.
That's funny.
I've joked like that in the past.
It's
Where
because
well, let me say something. Yeah, let me say something you really don't want, but
you don't want to
especially
be
you don't want to be
selfish.
selfish.
She's picky. I agree, Mrs. Gordon, because like the other day I really, really wanted some Haitian food so bad, right? And they have this thing called griot en banan. So banan is the plantains, like, but they smash it and they put like whatever. It's so good. So I really wanted it. I go to this place, get it, and it was like I literally 2 bites, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want this again. So it's definitely being picky, and just your taste buds is like you want it, but then again you don't want it. So
I'm pushing back on that. That's my best friend, by the way, too. We've been knowing each other since we were little. Mm-hmm. She's the mother to my beautiful goddaughter. I'm pushing back on that, sis. That we picky. We ain't pulling new restaurants out of the sky. This is stuff you've had. It's the 7 restaurants you've had before. You like it. Cool. This is good. Yeah. Okay. This is.
It might be the time of the day. I know the chef that's there not going to be good. I don't know. I'm just saying. So here's another one. Cash Young Sosa says, why do females feel that after a few years of dating, I didn't see this, but he said, why do females feel that after a few years of dating to get engaged is a must? Like they feel time is up. Where is my ring?
Oh, Shanae just dropped a bomb. We're not picky, just confused. That's dope. That's my drop.
I don't agree. We're not
just confused. No,
I just don't feel like something.
Pin it. Wait. Pin that.
Hold on. So Nessa says, I'm picky when it comes to eating, but I have been more open since giving birth to my daughter for some reason. I'll try something out now, but before it will stick to what I know. Yeah, I agree. But even when I stick to what I know, sometimes it's just, I don't know if it's the chefs or what. It don't always be that good. But
yeah.
So how do y'all feel about it? You've been dating me. You've been dating me for 13 years. You still ain't even popped the question. What's up with that? Like, why can't we be kind of bothered? That's a question a man asks. They think after years.
I mean, you know what? That goes back to both parties involved, right? Mm-hmm. Because after 10 years, like there are 2 willing parties that's stringing this thing on. And it's like, okay, now we got to go back. We got to go back to that beginning conversation. Like, okay, where are we going with this? What is our goals? What is our plans? If you're not getting the answer you want, it's like, okay, yeah. For my wife and I, we were pretty much dating throughout college. And then a couple of years out of that. So it was, we had a discussion, but it was never a forced thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think we were dating, it was a few years. So I can't remember the exact number right now, but yeah, that's the other thing too. Choose your partners wisely, right? Choose your partners wisely. If men, women, whatever it is, exactly 13 years I would have been left, but whatever it is, men, women.
That ain't me. Mine's a 7 years, but we had talked about it within the 3rd or 4th years. So.
And I think ours was like 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
3 to so it was like 6, including the engagement. So, but here's the thing too: if at the beginning, right, the beginning stages, you're never seeing eye to eye. If at the beginning stages, you never can come together and have a conversation about where do we want to go? Do you see yourself being married? Do you want kids? Do you not? If it's not like it's going to change all of a sudden, 6 months down the line, a year down the line. So again, choose your partners wisely. And here's the thing. It goes back to that trying, wishing, hoping, praying to change a person. Listen, your desire, all the prayer you want is not going to change that person. That person can change themselves and correct some things. But all of a sudden, it's not just going to be a night and day from what you've been experiencing for these last 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah.
We were listening to a radio show, XM radio show, a while back, and it was a couple. They were dating for 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
you know,
he's married for 11 years. I'm sorry, she asked if you're married. Yes, he's married for 11.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so he admitted, he said, he told the host, he said, I admit a lot of it was me, you know, and I'm just thankful she put up with me and my indecisions, you know, but I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. That's a long time. It's almost 2 decades.
So, Joe, Cash Out Sosa, you came in right on time. We are talking about the question you posed, and this is my PANDG for life, the number 4 for life. He's responding to what you said about the why do females feel that after a few years of dating to get engaged is a must, like they feel time is up, where is my ring? So what Mike is saying is that's a conversation you have to have early on. And for females, I know he's preaching. He can trying to help y'all out. Like if you have that conversation in the beginning, again, I'm gonna use me as an example. I had came out of a 3-year relationship before I got with my current husband. Now we've been together 22 years, and that's one of the first things I said. If you think about getting married in the long run, we ain't gonna need to be together. He said, "Dan, like we just started talking. I don't want to talk about that, but you never know." I'm like, okay. So for me, that was like, well, maybe, you know. So we've been together, but like y'all know, I'm kind of rough. So he's like, man, you kind of crazy. This and that and the other, but. You like we talked about earlier, you gotta know how to talk. My grandmother always says, not what you say, is how you say it. So that was one of my biggest issues, really bad. I corrected it a lot, but I agree with you, Mike. If we have that conversation in the beginning, somebody said, I don't remember who, somebody said at least within the first year, so you could kind of know where you're going. With that convos
and again, it's about
5-10 year goal. Yeah,
I think it's still again about the person, right? Because there may be someone that say people have their timelines, right? You may have to keep searching till you find that person that has a timeline similar to yours. Because some people may say a year, and we ain't talking about no, that's too long. Yeah. Or some people may say a year, man, that ain't nothing. Because let's think about it. If that year is 2020, hell, 2020 has been 10 years and 2 months at the same time. It's like, how in the world has this year been half our lives, but flying by at the same time? I feel like all of 2020 since like February, it's like Sunday, then Friday. You're like, where did the year go? Where did the week go? So if that year is 2020, some people might be like, listen, we thriving through this pandemic, man. Yeah. Just stick with me. Look, right. And that goes back to it too. That's even a better answer for that question that he posed, right? Is there a conversation going on about that, right? Because now if you bring that to him, hey, what's the deal? Now, again, it goes back to that, how often is this how often can I do this before I'm nagging? Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. Now, if for whatever reason you've asked that question, right? And it's, yeah, you know I love you. You know I love you, girl. You know what I'm saying? Everything good. Let's not mess it up. You know what I'm saying? If you okay with that, be okay with it. Yeah. But at the point where you're not, that's your life, right? That's your choice. So I think it goes back to the person. And the bottom line is that there's always 2 willing parties in that relationship. Yeah. So
I am loving these. I can't even keep up. She says women go in thinking they can change a man, and men go in hoping a woman don't change. That is so true.
Oh, that man.
So true. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Within the first week, signs are present. You got to keep on. She said the first few weeks. Well, yeah.
Sis said she ain't searching. She over it.
Oh, Lord. Do you have a single brother that thinks like you? I'm asking for myself. Some women scared to ask.
Man, you know what?
I realize that many of us simply want the ring and think once they get it, it's peaches and cream. But they're really not interested for the work and the journey. Listen.
Yeah.
Facts. I wish Instagram would allow us to save these. I can't save these. These are some
no, the comments. Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Think about this, like that ring conversation, right? I've heard many people explain it different, like pastors and stuff and ministers and officiating that does a wedding. You know, the ring, it's eternal. It's this loop that keeps going. It's not broken and all this stuff. But think of it like this, right? What do you do with a ring? You're holding it in your hand, right? and that finger is sliding through that ring. Mm-hmm. So it's just like as that ring grows on your finger, that's how you're growing through that relationship. Mm-hmm. That's when the work starts. Mm-hmm. You know, that's so mm-hmm. So yeah, but you're learning all these things you didn't know about this individual through that process. So yeah, it's the ring is not the end all be all. That's just the beginning, you know?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times that's when you're moving in together and all this stuff. You're like, wait a minute, you don't wake up like this. You know, where is this person? You know, that's when you're letting that guard down, and this mm-hmm. is me. You know, this is mm-hmm. me. So yeah, that ring that's just the beginning.
That it really, really is. I'm just screenshotting because some of these comments needs to be shared. Like I just have to keep them.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
You guys go ahead, ladies. So we're going to the conversation. Those of you that are just coming on, the conversation was what's something you don't understand about women. Men don't understand about women. This is Pans for Life, the number 4. He is a life coach. Make sure you follow if you're not following him. If you're not following me, make sure you follow me. We have these type of conversations. I also have another topic that we talk about called Shit Talk, is sharing his or her intimate thoughts. You drop a question privately, or you can do it publicly under the post, and we discuss it as well. I'm thinking about, because, you know, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I interview entrepreneurs, people that are doing great things in the community, and we talk about business, life, what's trending, and anything else that comes up during the conversation. However, I've been getting a lot of DMs about different things to talk about. And so, I mean, coming on live a lot during the week is a lot. But, I mean, if the conversations are there to be had and people want to jump on and join me to do it, we need to have it to be done, because I think this will be a lot of, like, clarity for some people, a lot of women that may be dating. You know, you might be questioning yourself now as we speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really assume. And you know what assuming does, makes an ass out of you and me. So we gotta really just be straightforward. Like he said earlier, don't throw too many hints. Just say it. Look, I want the ring that I saw on the Zales website or whatever, you know, wherever y'all shop at. And this is how much it costs. I don't know how long it's gonna. Just be straight up, straightforward, and give him a reminder. No more hints. Just give him a reminder. If you guys weren't on earlier, he says that in his phone, he has the note, you know how it has the notebook section or the note section, and he writes when his wife says certain things. He write it down just in case it may come up later on. So hey, that's being proactive, I should say.
Yeah, right? Yeah. If I've heard it 3-4 times, okay, we gonna drop this notes
because you're gonna hear it again. You already know.
Yeah, exactly.
I usually get my advice about men from a man that I generally trust. I found women go to their homegirl fast. Like, girl, listen, especially the single ones, don't be asking single girlfriends how you want. Because that could be the worst. If you're married, don't go to someone who just got married 2 years ago. Me, I always go to the old people, like, how you been with this man for 35 years? I need to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to go to someone who recently got married just because. Like, that could become an issue. So I agree, Shanae. Don't go to your homegirls. Go get it from a man.
Yeah, and that goes both ways. You know, like, just don't go to all your single male friends, because guess what? What you gonna normally get? Man, don't do it. Yeah. Man, nah, she trying to hold you back. This and that. Come on, like, really?
Yeah.
You're not going to your barber. You're not going to your barber to do your lawn, right? Yeah. You're not going to your lawn guy to cut your hair, right? Yeah. So that's the thing, man. You got to be specific with what you want. But that was a good question. She said about how does she know she's emasculating her man. One big thing we talked about earlier on the live was energy, right? Feeling that energy. So you're paying attention to, okay, there's something a little bit different. It's been 4, 5, 6 months, 6 years of my strong personality. You know, he acting a little bit different. Now he's always silent. Now he's completely shut down. Okay, now it's not even that power or that voice you're normally hearing, like, all right, chill out. That's enough. Okay, cool. So me personally, I don't think it's really more so emasculating more so than it is shutting him down to the point where, okay, look, I love this relationship. I appreciate this relationship, So now I'm just going to go along to get along. So I'm just not going to say nothing, you know? So that's the bigger issue. It's like, okay, now, you know, just pay attention. And the fact that, you know, that's the biggest thing too, because somebody else mentioned it too about that self-discovery. That's huge for me, especially as a coach. That self-discovery is so important. So now if you know your personality, right, you know you have one of those strong type personality and a more of that raw back you into the corner. And maybe that man, maybe that woman are more of the, you know, calm, cool. Then it's a matter of really continually asking yourself, okay, how is this looking? You gotta ask yourself sometimes, wait a minute, do I think that energy, you know what I'm saying? That woman's intuition, you know, like probably if you're thinking about it, you kind of know, okay, all right, let me chill out because he acting a little different than what he was 3 months ago. So maybe something has shifted.
Yeah, that's me. I had to realize that my husband got even quieter because I was too rah rah rah. So I definitely agree with that. We gotta check ourselves too. And she says, why is it when men cheat, a woman can stay and work it through, but when a man cheats, oh my God, a woman, I think she means cheats. Oh my God, all hell breaks loose.
Yeah. So I guess that was to me, even though it's supposed to be what men don't understand.
I know, and the thing is, women, we're gonna have a women's perspective too. But
great.
I mean, we might as well do it because there's only women on here, basically.
You're right. Great question. No, great question. And that goes back to something my bro, remember Blue King, my bro Chris, he said earlier, right? He talked about, he said that we get our feelings hurt quicker or something, right? I've literally listened to three podcasts where they talked about this and had this that's all men. They talked about that very thing right there because we think we operate differently, right? And it's unfortunately it's a double standard, right? And the question is so true, but at the same time, most men just can't deal with that. They can't take that. It's almost like that. It's almost like that point of no return. To where now, okay, I can work through this and let me see. It goes back to that woman being more of an emotional being. So it's, well, let me see what happened and this and that. Whereas a man is like, remember that direct to the point that I was talking about? It's like, no, I'm out. Like, well, wait, what? You know, so I really think, you know, it's one of those things that sucks, but I just think because of how we're wired. I literally do think it's just how we're wired.
I think my opinion on that is definitely ego. I don't remember who said it. Definitely ego, and just ego. I think like you feel like, man, I wasn't man enough, but then I feel like women will feel the same way too. I wasn't enough for you, so that's the real touchy thing. Somebody asked earlier, can a woman be too independent? Do you think we are too independent?
Can a woman be too independent? I mean, if she too independent would mean she's always by herself. So technically, no. I mean, so in a relationship, I guess, if that's the question more so in a relationship, can she be too independent? It's about, and it goes back to kind of that love languages things and how your partner operates, right? If you're with a man that wants to help and wants to be there, hey, let me take out that trash. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let me open your door. Let me pump your gas. Let me do this. I got this. No, ain't nobody never opened that for my mama or my auntie or my sister or my grandma. I got this. Like, oh, whoa, wait. Okay, so now guess what? I ain't asking you no more. I'm not asking you to do right. And now it's like, you can't never do. Well, wait a minute. this first quarter of our relationship, I was trying to do all this, to do all that. So it's one of those things. So I guess to make it short and sweet, depending on the situation, is the right way to answer that question. Yeah.
And I agree. And then the thing is, we act like that.
That's a good question too. Like, what does it mean to be too independent? Because
right. Sure. But like what you're saying, like we want this. Like I want men. I have me a man and he opened the door. You know, he makes sure I don't gotta take the car to get work on it. Like I don't need to change myself. Like he does all of that. Then you get a man that does that, and it's like I don't need you to do all of that because you're so used to doing it. But I think that's a problem that we were wired like to know that make sure you can take care of yourself, make sure you have this, make sure you have that, and then we get someone to do it, we don't know how to act. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Blue King
Chris,
said,
yes, thanks, man. Yeah, definitely.
From letting a man take care of her. That way we're not. Yeah, exactly. Because we feel like I agree 100% on the man's side. It's like we want it and then we get it and it's like I don't need you. Because I was like that for a long time because I felt like I had a homeboy who was married with his wife for 23 years. They were married for 23 years, not together. They were married, and they ended up separating, and that like threw me. I'm like, after so long, like why? He said she just wasn't feeling me no more. We just kind of separated, and I'm like, oh. In my head, I'm like, well, let me make sure I could take care of myself just in case you want to up and go. But I think that's how we were taught, females. And if y'all women don't agree with me, let me know. I feel like we've been trained so much to make sure we don't have to depend on a man, that when we have a man, we can depend on, we don't know how to act. And I think that's a problem. Like, even if you want to stack your money, and I'm telling y'all this in front of the man, stack your money. Let that man take care of you if he want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't. Because you're going to end up messing up a good thing. Then he's going to be nasty to the next female because you were mean to him. And that's just going to mess up the whole pattern of everything. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and as I said early on in the live, like I really dislike absolutes. So if you've ever heard you don't need a man for nothing, you don't need a woman for nothing, that person was wrong. And check the messenger. Check the messenger. 9 times out of 10, maybe 9.9 times out of 10, that person's single as hell. So they're telling you don't need it. So that's the thing, it's always about, checking. Really, honest thing is closing them gates off to the outside noise and worried about these two people, right? That's the biggest thing. But yeah, that's important because people will tell you all these things.
Miserable.
Exactly.
Miserable as hell.
Right.
Don't want you to. I need you to hang out with me because you don't need no man because girl, they can't do nothing for you. No, I don't believe that. Yeah. Eyes Glued _Emperor, who we're gonna have tomorrow. Make sure y'all tune in and as I interview him. He said we as black men and women can't lose sight that we do exactly.
Yeah, definitely
need each no matter what you say. Cause listen, I'm gonna just keep it real. Like I need that body. I need that heat. It gotta be real. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what y'all women be talking about.
And that right there, man, that might be like the message. That may be the message of the night right there. Because here's the thing too that I hear so much, and I do this segment on my YouTube, Black Business Booming, where I interview entrepreneurs, and I always say I do black entrepreneurs because I say, listen, people say black people ain't doing this, ain't doing that. And I say, you can't tell me what black people are not or are doing because I know what my circle is doing. And if that's all you see, maybe you need to change your circle. Maybe you need to change your surrounding. So we hear all this noise about black men don't support black women don't support black men. Check the black men and black women in your life. Because that's for me. I know what I see from my black male friends. What I see, like my bro Chris, Blue King, been on here all night. I know what I see from the black men in my life, the black women in my life, and that's what we need to bolster and uphold. And it's also speaking against that. It's also speaking against that when you hear, like, hold up. I know you saying that, but that's not for me. That's not what I see. You know what I'm saying? And now what happens when we all do that and start reflecting it? We make that reality. And so now let's support our black women, our black men, and let's stop feeding into all these mouths on the internet, right? And social media, just making memes. Oh yeah, they ain't no good. They ain't this, they ain't that. Check yourself. What is your circle doing?
I agree.
So that's huge. That's huge.
We have to, and he just said it right there. Like that's that. Like we have to realize. My cousin and I had a conversation last night. She says, I realized that the people that I'm around, she's 28. She said, I realize the people I'm around, they're not really trying to do nothing. I was like, I'm so proud of you. Yeah. I was like, what made you think that? She said she thought about, like, she has no children. 28 years old, no kid. Like, man, I'll be traveling the world. I'll be working 2-3 jobs. When I get a break, I'm on somebody plane or something, going somewhere, right? And she said, I just noticed that, this person has this amount of kids. They've been with Tom, Dick, and Harry, and they still don't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? I said, I am so proud of you. Like, it took a minute, but
That's
everybody
huge.
takes time. So now she knows I gotta change my circle. So that goes back to what you said. It's the people you're around.
And Nessa, she said she know for a fact she needs to change your surroundings. Do it, because your surroundings are a reflection of what you're putting out. Now, let me explain that. Not just what you're putting out, meaning you're putting out mess or none of that. No, you might be the most mature person in your circle, right? But here's the thing: it's what you're thinking about. Because I guarantee you, when you start thinking differently, you watch differently. You hear differently, you read differently. And guess what that's going to do? What you put in the universe will come back to you. And so now you ain't got to wipe those people out there in your life, because guess what you'll know? And I promise you it works, because I look at the last 10 years of my life, they fall off. Because now you vibrate so high, your energy is on such a level that they can't keep up, or they're intimidated. So you ain't got to do the work. Just take care of yourself, vibrate higher, and watch and see what will happen. Because your surroundings, man, it's huge, man.
Baby, that's a word in itself.
It's huge.
Yeah, word in itself. When you think differently, you do different. Your environment can kill you. Your environment can definitely stagnate you. But listen, I don't know if you remember what he just said, but I'm gonna make sure I look at this live again, screen record that, because I think a lot of people need to hear that.
Right.
People gotta understand. And like I said, Mike is a life coach. If there are things that you guys want to like just talk about and he got a fee, I'm sure. He's a life coach. That's his job. Make sure you hit him up, because he is giving so much great free game tonight that I know even on a one-on-one, it could be even much more. So make sure you follow him, connect with him, get with him. Nessa, definitely you. It don't matter where you at. She's in Canada. But listen, everything virtual now, it doesn't even make a difference. So
and that's the thing too. Connect. I'm glad you said this, is because for me too, just exchanging information and things like that, I welcome that. For everybody on here that knows me, any of my people that know me, they know how I am. Sis can attest to this. Renita can attest to this. This is me. This is what you get. And so me encouraging and exchanging ideas and giving advice, that's what I do. I tell people all the time, I remind people of my mission. And the YouTube video I shared today was about my mission. And it's to share my light, love, and positivity with as many people as I can in the time and space that I have. So, so yeah, definitely, anybody, I encourage you, P&Z for life. You can, search that across the board, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, well, mainly Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. That's where I hang out most. Twitter is just reposts. So, but yeah, just, send me a message or whatever. Just, kind of diving in deeper on some of the stuff we discussed. I'm definitely open to that.
I definitely think, and this is something I like. I mean, I don't know, but I'm sure, and I think I've had the most questions on here than I ever had on any other interview. But listen, this is something we could do once a month or something, just to, both man, woman perspective, however, whatever we want to call it, and get things out there, get this conversation going, because I think you really did an amazing job tonight. Clarification, we piggyback off each other. You guys threw out the most amazing questions. Does anybody have any other questions? She said, I cried so much, but now I understand why it was necessary. I was holding on because I guess I was used to being around them and didn't want to feel lonely or alone. This year has helped tremendously.
That's a beautiful thing.
Ministries is on here. I really hope that she is on, because she and I had this conversation the other night, Nessa, about the people that we're so used to that we think that we have to. But, Mike just expand on it. Like, they'll fall off eventually. You just have to try to, and not in a bad way. Like, you just got to know you want better for you. You have a baby girl. You know what I'm saying? You got to want better for you.
Yeah.
So TDH, you see what he's saying and what she just said. We just talked about it.
And that's the thing for Nessa. Like, I really want you to know that those tears, those crying, that's absolutely fine. That's beautiful, because guess what? Now, there you go. You're cleansing. Not only are you cleansing and you're breaking through some tough ground, right? You think about that seed. What do you have to do? You got to water it. So those tears are watering something that's beautiful. And guess what? Now, here's the thing about that seed. the toughest point is when that seed breaks through the ground and you see that beautiful blossom. That's the hardest point. That seed has to break through ground, like literally break through earth. So you got to keep watering until you start to see that blossom, and then you can bloom. So that's awesome. The biggest thing, and one of the things a lot of people have said, is knowing yourself, realizing where you are in life.
She said,
but sis, shout out to you. Before we end, I just want to tell you thank you for this, and I've checked out some of yours, and definitely gonna be like, once you connect with me, that's it. I'm a people person, so you can't get rid of me. I appreciate it, and in the future, just let me know. I love stuff like this, and maybe even I'll bring you on to my audience as well, because I do some things on where I shared on Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff. So but thank you. Definitely. I just wanted to put that in.
Thank you for just agreeing to do it, because like I tell people all the time, it's your time. I am big on your time. You doing that, I know for a fact. Even though Diva says it right here, this live helped my daughter, and she's 13. The environment talk is real. So it's good that she even had her sit in on this conversation. She's 13. She need to do better than us. I'm about to be 45. We need to know now. Not, she needs to know now. Not now when I'm 45. Like, there's so much. I tell my girls that I mentor, I said, I didn't start getting my mind together till 35. So her being 13, she gonna be way past.
And look, blessings to her because here's the thing, bless you for real at 13, because they are seeing so many things that I know we always say, well, nothing new under the sun. That's a lie.
It is.
TikTok went under the sun when we was 13. Facebook, Instagram, social media, hashtags.
I thought it's about a beeper the other day. They are so intrigued.
Yes. Pull out a rotary phone. Like, wait, what is this? So that's the thing. So for 13, seeing this, because we can all attest to that, right? We can raise our hand and say, man, if I knew then what I know now. So starting these teenagers and just having them around, that's huge too, because now if a 13, 15, 17, 20, 25-year-old can realize that my surroundings will make me or break me, boom, guess what? I'm head's always on the swivel. Nope, you can't be in my aura. Nope, you don't match my energy. Nope, you not vibrating high enough. Nope, this ain't gonna happen. You holding me back. Boom, and you there.
I agree. This not gonna work. No.
Nope, not enough.
I absolutely love it. And to each and every one of you guys that tuned in, and stayed on with us. You rock with us the whole entire time.
For sure. Shout out.
For that. I mean, we went from 20 to 6 to 5 to 13. We back to 14, which is fine. Like I always say, who's here? The numbers don't matter to me. For me, it's the people that are on to receive the message.
Yeah,
so those
definitely.
who are on word to receive. Look at what just Nessa, Jada is like. Jada is the 13-year-old. Shout outs to her mom for even allowing her to sit in on the conversation. We really need them to get it. She said, shout out to the parent of the 13-year position to receive information at that age and appreciate it is key. She appreciated it. She could have go watch Netflix or go do a TikTok video or something, but she wanted to sit and get in tune with it. So that's a good thing. Quality over quantity. I agree 100%. And Tashada says it all the time. Teenage Ministries. She says it all the time. Who are here on is who was supposed to receive it.
It's meant to be here. Yeah.
India Ari is a girl that sells products and stuff. I just like to listen to some of them, although I don't do what they do because of their business mindset. She always says you need to treat 1, 2, 3 as if it's 100.
Like 1,000, for sure.
Everybody has to receive somehow or the other. So
and that's that. Definitely, and that's that. I agree with that 100%, because no matter if I'm doing a live, if it's one person, if it's 20 people, guess what? I'm going to post this, and somebody will look back and say, man, you were low energy. You were low energy, and low energy ain't Mike. That's not me. So that's the thing too. Consistency, it wins. Consistency wins. I tell people the biggest and best thing you can do for your life is to commit to consistency. Right? And so now the authentic, unapologetic self that I'm going to present is going to be the same, whether it's one like or 1,000, you know. So that's that driving force.
Yes, I agree. She says, I love India. Cori is amazing. She's amazing. You always have amazing energy. And like Mike said, this is me. What you see is what you get. If y'all know me and been rocking with me for a while, I've been doing this for a year. I didn't even realize that it's been a year. I should have had like a little party and stuff.
That's awesome. But congrats.
I think it was October 8th last year when I looked at the thing. I was like, that's so cool. But this is me. And I mean, like you said, a lot of people will fall off and I'm fine with it. I've learned to really accept it and be happy. They're not supposed to go with me. It's not their season to rock with me. So I'm fine with that. Yes, Jada always is on. I love that. I have a student too, Marco. He's not on tonight. He's Marco is 15. He always jumps on as well. Like, I am big on that. If you guys don't know, I do mentor teen girls. I mentor girls 8 through 15, but I'm a part of an organization as a coach for girls that are 16 through 21.
See synchronicity again, because I mentor as well, and I'm a part of a nonprofit where I'm on the board for the nonprofit. So, and that's one of the facets too of my coaching with the youth. So yeah.
The guy that I'm interviewing tomorrow also, he's on the board of a nonprofit organization out in Atlanta as well. So I mean, I just these are the people I want to connect with. And let me tell you guys, if y'all know me, I don't care if you're black, white, Spanish, whatever, Asian, whatever. I just feel people are people, and we gotta really support, because you can learn a lot from anyone. You know what I'm saying? I am wearing my Black Lives Matter shirt because I was gifted this shirt, so I wear it. But I believe that we just gotta rock with who rock with us and make things happen. That's just my whole opinion. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Commitment, courage. I mentor rookie nurses. Awesome. Pans, I just followed. I love to gain knowledge from positive black men. Yeah, I think you guys, he could do a late night conversation. She has the craziest late night conversation. It's so funny. I can't keep up with her no more, because like when I say late night, she be on like at 1, 2 o'clock. I be on trying to support.
I'm in REM sleep. I'm in REM sleep by that time, because I get up at 4 a.m. and go to the gym. So that 1, 2 o'clock.
He just made me feel bad. He goes to the gym at 4 in the morning. I'm trying to make it 4 in the afternoon.
That 1, 2 a.m. hit different.
Yes, exactly. But definitely, again, guys, make sure you follow him. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I am here Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's my problem too. That's my nurse, my coach, my weight coach. I have I'm bad with sleeping. That's a big problem. And yeah, I think that's why my weight is up. And I'm not overweight or anything. I just, you want to be a certain weight for your head. She said past my bedtime. But yeah, your life do get pretty crazy. But guys, as always, I just love supporting. I want everybody to win. I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. If you know me, you know that's how I am. Make sure that you follow him. Show some love. Y'all know I'm big on showing love. Comment. Don't just look at it and keep scrolling. Say something. If it touched you, if it helped you, if it motivated you, say something. And some of you that are on here that were talking earlier, chime in with him. Jump on with him. Try to get a quick conversation going, a quick session. Hey, we've been on about an hour and a half, and I'm sure you've been changed. So imagine just having a conversation with him one-on-one.
And shout out to my sis again too. She said thank you both. Shout out, shout out to you, sis. Love you. It was dope.
Yes. Yeah, Sinead, the CBD no, I stay up. I don't know. I think it'd be the Nutriverse that had me going crazy. But again,
you bouncing off the walls.
Yes. I can't take it after 12 in a day. That's it for me. But again, thank you so much. We got to do this again. Guys, as you know, if you got any questions, comments, concerns, send it in my DM. Let's try to, keep things going, positive things going, to lift one another. Yeah, I know I definitely want us to make sure we keep lifting our men, black, white, or Spanish. We got to lift them up to keep them going, because they need it. They need the love. We need the love too, but we got to be a little. He said it earlier. They're kind of slow to certain things, so let's just help them. It's not intentional.
That should not be the lasting comments, but
we show show love to y'all.
Right. Yes. So, yes, for
just
sure.
Go ahead and close out again. Tell them again where they need to find you, what you do, and
yeah, so follow me. So it's my business is P&Z for Life, and just a little short story. Both of my parents are deceased, and those initials are my parents' first initials. So P&Z for Life. But follow me on Instagram, and like my link tree is in my Instagram bio. So you can on my link tree you can find my YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all that good stuff. So yeah, follow me and just reach out, comment, send me a message, any questions, stuff like that. So I appreciate it. And just as Cori said, sis, for you, it's enough out here for us all to win. I want everybody to win. So yeah, thank you again for doing this, and thank you for everybody that tuned in. All my followers, make sure you follow Cori as well, because all these shows are dope. Yes. So follow, support.
Thank you. And the vice versa, my followers, make sure you follow him. And as always, you guys, you already know, make sure you tune in on Tuesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. and follow again. And I'm so I thought it was P&Z. I didn't realize it was P&Z.
Yeah, you know what? That's cool. I tried to go back and capitalize the P&Z. Afterwards I couldn't. They wouldn't let me. But because everybody say what is Panda, or they say Pans, and it's cool. But yeah, it's P&Z. And when you go to my profile link tree, link tree, you see it. But yeah, all good. Yeah. But yeah, P&Z for life. So.
I love it. All right. So make sure you check him out on YouTube as well. He does the same thing. He does interview entrepreneurs. If you want to be interviewed, I don't know his whole process, but I know I want to be on his show.
Yeah, for sure.
Those of you guys definitely connect with him to get on his show as well. All right.
Awesome. All right. Y'all have a good night.
Take you out while I close out. Thank you. Thank you guys again so much for rocking with your girl. We'll be back here tomorrow. @Emperor. I'm not going to have a live on Thursday. The person for Thursday said that she can't do it, which is fine. I don't know if I'll jump on and just have a jump on and just have a conversation or not. But as for now, we're just gonna be on tomorrow. So I'm gonna play my outro. If you guys haven't heard it yet, make sure you check it out. And the girl that did it is my girl at Renegade Radio. All right, y'all. Have a good night. See y'all tomorrow. Guidance, blessings, and love. Good night.